That felt like the most evil thing that happened to me. Like he didn't care about nothing, but only cared about money.
I knew what I wanted this to feel like, but for a long time, I just couldn't find it. The music was just not landing. Even the pacing was just feeling wrong. I swear I had all the pieces, but no way to make them stick. And then I heard the song, and everything finally came together. This was for an intro for a podcast I was creating for my client, and I had so much freedom to do what I wanted creatively, but that was honestly the hardest part to start. All I was given was use the best hook and the most intense parts to keep people wanting to watch the entire thing. All I was given was that. I had no emotional roadmap, just myself, the footage, and whatever I could pull from in this 1 hour long conversation. I wanted it to have emotional weight, but the problem was, I just didn't know where to start. I tried mapping out the structure, the hook, the setup, the conflict, the change, and even a resolution that still teased what the actual story had in store. But the emotion just wasn't landing. For me, music is everything. It has become my glue when it comes to telling stories. I build my edits off of the emotional music undertones. I myself, like many others, feel through music. But every song I tried just didn't work. There was countless tracks being tested, different tones, different vibes. Each one either just didn't match, dragged it, or just didn't allow the moments that I wanted to hit. I even tried something a little different where I tried different emotions within a shorter time span and changing the music then. But blending them was just making it physically impossible when there was great tracks that just wouldn't blend in together. The keys were clashing and the flow of the video was just kind of lost. It didn't feel like my story was finally coming or giving me that creative juice that I was looking for. It honestly felt like I was just forcing it to work for me instead of it naturally fitting in place. Then the next day, while I was after taking a break, I showed my client the video. And he told me that it just didn't fit his brand. That it's not his style, and what about Christian rap? And of course, I love Christian rap music, but this was supposed to be an introduction. And the music that I had available for me limited how it would flow with the edit. I wanted to create tension and emotional pull, and it just wasn't there. But his feedback did unlock something that I actually needed. He told me how he actually had footage of him holding money like a cell phone. And that sent me into my overlays, and it all changed. And that was how everything started to come together. That new piece of content started evolving. I suddenly could see the tone of the video, and I leaned into my overlays to create this nostalgic analog feel of these old clips. And throughout that, I finally found the right song. The music felt like it was naturally meant for the video. It just fit. I didn't need to force multiple songs and different emotional tones together. It just all played in itself. When I look back at how I dealt with this challenge, even though these other versions just never worked out, it taught me something that is necessary. If I didn't do those things, if I didn't test those other soundtracks, music, or even try to figure out what my emotional tone was, that song would have just passed me by. I wouldn't have noticed it. I had the basic building blocks right there, but because I kept pushing and kept trying and didn't give up, God taught me through that. God led me through it. Even though I was frustrated, even though I needed to take a break, it allowed me to open my eyes and understand what I was being called to do. Because when I finally found that track, it changed everything. Let's go. If you're like myself, struggling to try and tell your story with your music, let these moments frustrate you. Let these struggles happen. Keep testing things. Keep playing around. And most importantly, if you need to take a break and show it to someone else. And the next part too, which is so important, is ask God for guidance in this. Ask Him to show you how to tell your story better. Because eventually, it all naturally clicks together, as if it was always meant to be. And when it does, you realize all of those things you're going through, all of those struggles, all of the pain, all of the unknowing uncertainty help you know what you're actually looking for. If you like stories just like this one, make sure to just hit the subscribe button and comment down below where you've struggled before when it comes to creating and telling your story. Now, here is the full podcast, completely finished, ready to go now.
I feel like the most evil thing that happened to me. Like, he didn't care about nothing, but only cared about money. And all I hear is like, boom. So now my whole rear end blew out on the Huracan. Growing up, especially being like in Detroit, black people tell other black people you can't do this because you black. So while I was young, I always realized that wasn't true.
Come on. We made it.
My whole life, I always knew God. But I know because He always gave me a purpose. I always wanted to give hope to people.
Before I went to prison, there was no smartphones at all. So when I got out, I had a Note 2. And I'm like, I have the whole world at my fingertips.
If you keep living this way, God won't love you. God doesn't love you. You're going to go to hell. And He must know more than me.
If people are not making money, if they're not about real entrepreneurship, if they don't have bad girls around them, I don't want to know. Falling in love with your purpose enough to know that outweighs any worldly treasure.
I remember the devil's voice. God was extremely authoritative. Like, you could hear the mightiness in His voice. But the devil is trying to mimic His voice.
Seeing it's possible for somebody else, because that's what I needed.
Yeah.
And just like you need, the wise learn from other people's mistakes. A smart person will learn from their own mistakes.